Hey there, so welcome to my Inspirational Insights. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Claire Redfern, and today I want to talk about dealing with other people's opinions and giving people your power. So what does that mean? Well, I have a favourite saying. I have a few favourite sayings, but one of my favourite sayings is other people's opinions of me are not my concern. And that's largely because generally when someone has an opinion of you, particularly when it's a negative one, that's not really an indication of anything that you are. It says more about them than it does about you. And even if it's a good opinion that they've got of you, actually your opinion, as long as you are validating yourself, that's the bit that counts. So it's really nice when people have good opinions of you and they say nice things to you, and it does help to validate you. But if you don't believe that yourself, if you don't hold that same opinion, then it doesn't really matter that they think you're amazing, because you won't believe it. And they can say it to you 1,000 times and you'll just think they've got an ulterior motive, or they're saying it because, they have to, because they're a loved one or a best friend or a family member or something like that. So your opinion is the one that counts. In the industry that I'm in, obviously, you're putting yourself out there. I'm doing videos like this, I'm on social media, and inevitably people will talk. And you know what? I'm cool with that. If they want to talk about me, whether that's positive or negative, and I'd hope it was the positive, then carry on. But how do you deal with that when they talk about you in a negative way? Well, firstly, I question myself. I say to myself, am I really like that? So if people are saying, oh, and I have to say, I've never had this in this instant, in the industry that I'm in. I've never really had that much negativity. But I kind of also think that's because people who know me, people who I surround myself with, wouldn't do that. And they also know that I don't care. And the thing is, even if you do care, even if you do really care about what other people think, if you give off that perception that you really don't care, people stop doing it. And that's really interesting, I think. People don't say negative things for me. I don't get negative comments on my Facebook lives or anything like that, because I don't care. And I genuinely don't in that instance. I'm quite happy to just delete them and move on. I remember an incident, oh gosh, I'd say probably about 10 years ago, when Facebook first came out, and somebody wrote a really nasty comment about me on a picture that somebody else had posted, and they were basically saying I was ugly and that, I wasn't much to look at. To be fair, at the time, I don't think I was either, but it really hurt. It really, really, really upset me at the time. And I was really offended, and I was a bit like, why would somebody do that to somebody they've never met? And it's taken me a long time, and this is where self-development comes into this. You have to work on yourself, and you have to work on yourself every single day. For one negative comment that you hear, you've got to have 7 positive reinforcements to get rid of it. So sometimes you have to give those positive comments to yourself, because it's not often we get 7 compliments in a day, and sometimes you have to remind yourself that you are worthy, you are important, you are special, you are beautiful. And I know that feels really awkward. It feels really awkward, but you know what? It's true, and that's all that matters. And as long as you believe it, nothing that anybody else says to you or about you will hurt. It's almost like you put a barrier up, and it's also almost like a barrier of protective self-love. And you're basically, nothing can get through that, because as long as you love yourself, it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. And that includes yourself. You have to be nice to yourself. So when you let other people's opinions affect you, you're basically giving them your power. You're giving them the power of controlling how you feel. Now, I always bring myself back to this. Would I accept that if somebody said it about Thomas? Thomas is my son, for those that you don't know. And the answer is always going to be no. If somebody says something bad about him, you can guarantee I'm going to be like, right there. No, he's not. Unless in that instance he is. But I would never, ever let him believe that he is anything less than what I think of him. And obviously I think he's perfect. So, although he's not. Obviously, we've all got our issues, haven't we? But I would never let him believe. I would never let him believe that he can't do something. I would never let him believe that it wasn't worth him trying. I would never let him believe that, you know, just because one person says something bad, it doesn't mean that you're not inspiring 10,000 other people. So why would I let myself believe that because of something that somebody else says? So if I wouldn't let him do it, I'm not allowed to do it either. And that's what I bring myself back to all the time. So I don't give people that power. I don't, and I think they know it is probably why they don't do it, but I don't give people that power over me. And the thing is as well, I don't have expectations of people. And this is something I learned really young. So I don't have expectations of people because that way I can never be disappointed. So people are what they are. You know, it's rare that people change that fundamentally. If somebody doesn't like you, they're probably not going to like you. Well, you know, bye, delete, move on, carry on. I am quite happy to remove people from my life that even start to make me feel bad about myself. I'm quite happy to do that. Taking me a long time to get there, but it is something that I would recommend people practice, because you know what, life is too short for people to make you feel miserable. So if people, you know, if you're in the kind of same industry as I'm in and you're posting things on Facebook and people saying nasty things about you, just delete their comments. Delete them. Block them. Push them out. Because it does say more about them than it does about you. You know, you see these ranty people on news feeds and stuff like that, and they're going off on one. They never make themselves look good. So I always think, well, you know, everyone else can see that you're a bit of an idiot. So I'm actually going to delete your comments, save you that. I'm actually being kind to you, even though you're being nasty to me. So for me, I just think a really good place to be is somewhere where you put your own values and your own opinions and your own self-belief before other people's opinions of values of you or belief of you. It's a really good place to be. There are tons of self-development books out there, tons and tons and tons, and I would highly recommend just drowning yourself in them. Read, watch YouTube, listen to inspirational videos like this that will help you to see that it's not you. When people have bad opinions, or they're laughing at you, or they're sniggering or sniping with each other behind your back, it's not you. It's them. And as long as you're being kind and you're not trying to hurt anybody, you're doing the right thing for the right reason, then you carry on. Carry on. Because so what? So what if their opinion of you is any less? Who cares? For me, if you're a kind-hearted, genuine, authentic person who just wants to give love out, then you're never going to go far wrong. So, and if you are that kind of person, then you're the kind of person that I want to be friends with, because they're the only kind of people that I have in my life. So I hope that helps. If you want me to cover any topics, please drop me a line. You can email me, you can hit me on Facebook, you can message me on my website, whichever way is easier for you. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you again on the next Inspirational Insights.